So YouTube, Pewsily here. I'm going to bring you Dark World today. I know I'm a bit late doing it. It's not jumping on the bandwagon or anything. I've had the deck for a while, but I was having like real problems with consistency and stuff with it. So this is the most updated version with stuff from the Photon Shockwave as well. So just jump right into it really. So you all know me. Start off with my 3 tour guides. Basically this is going to give you easier access into Brow to bounce a Grapher, or to go into Leviairs to special summon a remove from play Dark World monster, again to bounce a Grapher, or it's going to be able to apply pressure with the Leviathan Dragon, which gives you first turn fodder for your gate. So tour guide is all round good because obviously it's a fiend. Then next, teching in 1 Raven, it's just good. You can search it out with the Sangan that you'll occasionally get with the tour guide. And it just provides discard fodder that your opponent will struggle to negate. They can't negate it with stuff like Gemini Imps or like the generic stuff they'll be siding in, and Naturia Beast doesn't stop this, so it's easily searched out even if you're just running 1. And also it's a tuner, it's the only tuner I'm running, so it gives me access to Synchro fodder and Fabled Raging, which is pretty cool, especially when you go into Raging with this and a Sangam. That's awesome. Next, the sort of mandatory 3 brows. It's just going to help you speed through the deck. When you combo a brow with a gate, you get a Pot of Greed, and it's that simple. So it's also going to be quite largely one of the main things you'll be bouncing for Grapher, because you can get it out with Tour Guide, both when you search it with Tour Guide and when you special summon it with the Leviairs. So 3 brows all good. And then your obvious 3 Grapher, it's just the brute power of the deck. Under gate's a 3k beat stick, and once you get the ball rolling with this guy, your opponent will struggle to win just because they'll struggle to get over 3000 attack. So the big thing I hate with this is when my opponent monster reborns it. So it's in my graveyard and they monster reborn it. That annoys the hell out of me. But other than that, Grapher's all good. And then 1 Sangan, running 3 tour guides. You sort of have to run it really, don't you? And it searches out your brows and other tour guides as well. So all good. And then 3 Snow. Snow is probably like one of my favourite cards in the deck actually. Search out any Dark World card when it's discarded, and if it's your opponent's card effect, it's got a brutal effect. It's a monster reborn from your opponent's graveyard, so Snow's really good, and being level 4 makes her some pretty cool rank 4 exceeds occasionally, and under gate it's a 2k beat stick, so Snow is all round generically really good. And then to finish off, just 2 Beige. I wish they'd printed this in like a higher rarity than common, but whatever. Beige really is like the worst monster in the deck, but you sort of need to run it because you can normal summon him to bounce him for Grapher, or you can discard him and special summon him and then bounce for Grapher, and then normal summon him and bounce for a second Grapher. So he is purely Grapher fodder, or under gate he's got 1900 attack, so he can run over most stuff or match with like Thunder King and stuff, so he's pretty cool. Onto the spells then. First off, Allure of Darkness. Still not 100% sure on. I might take it out for another Dark World Dealings or Drag Down, but yeah, Allure is there to just try and improve consistency to get that first turn gate going. 1 teched copy of Drag Down to the Grave, just because it's really good. I don't think it's worth not running any just because you fear the mirror match, and it's searchable with Snow, so this is good to be able to get your discards going. I kind of want another one in there, which is why I was thinking taking out the Allure, but 1 was working alright for me. And then you got your 2 MSTs, just sort of staple at the moment. Side the 3rd, both for mirror match or Gravekeepers, or basically anything for extra back row hate, because generally Graph is quite good at back row hate as well. You got your Dark Hole and Monster Reborn, so staples. I don't really think many decks don't play them. Card Destruction. Friend Iron Charge, I'll post a link to his thing below as well. He was saying with Card Destruction it's too good to not use. I mean, if you're in the mirror match you just don't use it, it's 1 dead card, but if it's not the mirror match, Card Destruction brutally good. If you open up with like just a handful of Dark World monsters in this, you plus so wildly off of it. Like as soon as you drop a Card Destruction, if you've got like 2 or 3 Dark World monsters, you've basically won. 1 Foolish Burial, just to ensure you can get the Grapher ball rolling, because the advantage train from that's unreal. It's +1 every time it's summoned, so as soon as you can drop a Grapher, you've got the beat stick to start clearing your opponent's field, so that's really good. You 1 Heavy Storm, again staple, because surprisingly a lot of people do sort of go set a monster, set 3 end, so this is awesome for that. And Gravekeepers as well, man. I went up against Gravekeepers on the weekend, and they're still really good. So this wrecks. Even when you've got your own field spell, once you've got enough advantage, you can afford to lose it. So 2 drag down. I was playing 3, but then yeah, dropped to 2 to try and find room for Smog. And because a lot of the time, if you can be dead, especially if your opponent doesn't have a card in hand, or if you open up with like a tour guide, or like more than one tour guide, or like tour guide and Sangan, or tour guide and Raven or something, then you don't want to use it because obviously they'll just discard the thing that's not gonna get an effect or anything. So 2 is good though. It's really good to see your opponent's hand. It's one of the better cards of the format. And then to finish off, you obviously got your 3 gate. This is brutal. It's basically says here, have a +1 every single turn and smash away through your deck. It's this is the reason largely that I do run Reckless Greed in here, because you don't need to draw. This will get you a draw or 2 every turn anyway. So anyway, traps, 2 Dark Smog, the new thing from Photon Shockwave. It's a DD Crow every turn, and it gets your discard effects off. So this is what's hopefully going to give us the edge against plant matchups. You can just remove all their stuff. You can do it once in your opponent's turn and once in your turn, continuously. It's really good. And it's a little Raikou getting beat on by a gold, so what's not to love. And then 1 Torrential and 1 Solemn. Was running Mirror Force, but again dropped to Mirror Force to make room for a Smog, because it's just not great at the moment. It's good, but it's not great. I mean, like, it fails against Hyperion and Dark Armed and Judgment Dragon and loads of stuff. And sorry, it sucks against Tengu as well. So there we are. And then 2 Mind Crush and a Dust Shoot. The Mind Crush is awesome because you're running the drag downs as well, so you're seeing your opponent's hand regularly. Dust Shoot's obviously just staple of the format, such a good card. And then the Mind Crushes as well. You got to think about all the stuff your opponent adds to their hand at the moment. You got everyone and their mother running 3 dualities. You got 3 Earths. You've got stuff being returned to hand for Birdman. You've got reinforcements to the army, Stratos, Equal. All the 6 Sam stuff. There's just so many things that add to your hand at the moment that this is brilliant. And if your opponent's running one of those odd decks that doesn't do that a lot, like, I don't know, Karakiri for instance, then even against Karakiri I'd probably play it there because of Merchant. But if you're up against one of those odd decks that doesn't add to the hand a lot, you can side Mind Crush out nice and easily. And then you've got to end with 3 Reckless Greed. Like I said earlier, I do play this in large part because Gate's in there. And it's just really good. I mean, if you open with 1 or 2 of these and card destruction, you know, you plus massively off of card destruction anyway, and this just makes it obscene. It's just good all round. It gives you like a hand to start abusing with your discard fodder. You know what Darkwood are like. They can open with like loads of cards that do discarding, or loads of cards that need discarding. And occasionally it's too inconsistent. You don't get a good mixture of both. This helps you pause through to get the bits that you need, basically. And you can grab a monster off of them to start the grapple ball rolling again. It's just all round an amazing card, because if you've only got 1 MST set and your opponent 1 Reckless set, your opponent MSTs it, you can chain it and draw 2, and you don't minus off of it because you've chained it to the MST. So nowadays you should never minus off of a Reckless Greed unless you're going to activate it randomly because you're desperate or you need to push for game. So that's the deck. It's 40 cards. I'm pretty happy with it. I went 4-0 with it on the weekend because it was the sneak peek, so we just had a small tournament. So it definitely works. It's really good. Onto the extra deck though. Yeah, you go straight as 1 Leviathan Dragon. There are occasions when I might need 2, so I'm going to try and find room for a second one, but at the moment it's just 1. And then 2 Leviairs, because Leviairs awesome in this deck. With all the stuff you're banishing for Gate, Leviair gets you them back with your Tour Guide stuff, and then obviously you bounce that monster for Grapha. So if you go into this with a Tour Guide, you have it minus, because it was basically Tour Guide into Leviair. Leviair special summons a monster for a +1, then you bounce it for Grapha for a +2, so it's really good. 1 random tech Utopia, which I might drop for the other Leviathan Dragon, just because there are level 4s in there and occasionally you might need to stall. Raven's in there because I am running, so Raging is in there because I am running the Raven, and you can occasionally go into level 5. It's good to get drawing once your hand's depleted, so you can use it the same way that Fable do as well. Raven and Sangan, set your hand, dual 2 search for Sangam. Stygian Sergeants is a fiend that is 2/5 under gate. If it destroys a monster, it can attack again, and it goes to 3/3. So he's enormous, and he could do massive damage. He's really good. And then sort of obligatory Catasta for the agent matchup, basically. Level 6 is really hard, so just 1 Branach. He does win games. He won me a game on the weekend, but yeah, level 6 is really hard to go into. 1 Black Rose Dragon, because level 7 is quite easy to go into. With Raven and Beige is level 7, so 1 Black Rose Dragon, again, pretty much staple. And Ancient Sacred Wyvern, because Raven is light, and this is brutal. You use it exactly the same way as Fable do again, to do a bit of damage like with the Grapher, and then this directly for game. Because if you attack direct once with a Grapher, this has got 5,100 attack, so he's brutal. And Dark Highlander is a promo at the moment, so not sure if he's going to be legal for like Brighton or anything. If he's not, and I go to Brighton, then I'll probably just drop that for the other Leviathan. But yeah, this shuts down all synchroing. He's brutal, absolutely brutal, and he's got 3,100 attack under gate. He's just amazing. 1 Stardust Dragon, just as your sort of standard level 8, along with 1 Scrap Dragon, just if you need to get that extra destruction going, because obviously he's Earth, he can take out all the Shadow and Prison mirrors and stuff for you, so he's cool. 1 Trish, again, pretty much a staple, and one of these guys, Decisive Armor, because you can go into it if you need to. I don't know why you would, but just in case, with Grapher and Raven is level 10, so good in like Swans and gets agents and stuff. So there we are, there's the deck. Obviously comment, rate, etc, etc, or leave a reaction, which you can do nowadays. That's also cool. Like I said, I'll leave a link below to Iron Charge's one as well, so you can check his out, because his is slightly different. But yeah, there you are.